Hi Tony, how are you?
I'm very well. You know why I'm very happy today?
Why?
I found my vest. I've been looking for it for so many days.
It's a nice one.
Yeah,
We were talking earlier about a client you had recently who's dealing with the loss of a loved one.
bereavement, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough thing for anybody to go
Oh,
through,
yes.
especially when it's someone loved, whether it's a child or a loved one or a family member.
Yes. It's perhaps the biggest loss we can have in our lives.
So, how do you help people get through that or over that feeling of loss?
I think the first thing is to be compassionate enough to understand their pain and connect with their pain. The second is to understand that there is now a void in their life. And it's not necessary that they are trying to fill that void, but they at least want to understand that they are going to be able to overcome this. Yes, time is the best healer, but in that reading, I have to help them to heal themselves and also those around them. But do you know what is the most difficult thing in such a reading or in such a session? The most difficult thing is that the person who is going through the pain feels no one else understands them. So to be able to convince them that I'm understanding them is what I try to do.
So, how do you actually help them get over that hump?
So there are various things that they come looking for. First, I try to identify what are they looking for. They could be looking for a message from the person, from the spirit of the person who is passed. And I do this not just pulling out a message and telling them what they want to hear, but I have special decks of cards. I have about 15 decks of cards. I allow them to choose the deck that they want and the cards they want, and they're quite pleasantly surprised that the message is telling them either not to be sad or to move forward or to look into the future with something good that's coming their way. You see, spirits will motivate them also.
And do you always get a message?
Yeah, but as I said, I don't pull it out of thin air, I do it with the cards. And so for them to pick the deck and the cards is easy. The answer is yes.
And through astrology and numerology and through the palm, can you also see when happier times are coming?
Of course. And that is what I tell them. So they want a beacon of light because they are presently in a state which is not fun. And so that beacon of light helps them. So I tell them what's coming up in the future. I tell them what path they should take. Sometimes they have to change their path. Now, example would be a lady. She has suddenly lost her husband in an accident, for example. Now, she has the children to take care of. She has to take care of herself. She is the single mother. And now her whole path has changed. So how she can do and what she can do is what I cover in the reading.
So, what kind of positive messaging can you give them through one of your readings that things are going to be okay?
Well, it depends. It depends on who they have lost, what they are going through, and what their need is. And usually what they are looking for is how can they overcome the next few weeks and months, because if the bereavement has happened recently, then how to move forward. Mind you, some people remain stuck for years with that loss because it and everyone comes up with unique cases. I knew a young lady who had taken care of her grandmother. She was closer to her grandmother than to her parents. And upon the passing of her grandmother, she kept thinking, nobody will ever understand me as my grandmother did. Because she cannot look up to her parents, she has no siblings, and she doesn't trust her friends. So then, in such a case, this is what I said to her. I said to her, okay, let us take a message from your grandmother. And the grandmother said that she's going to meet someone wonderful, she's going to start her own family, and grandmother is blessing her. Now, knowing this, she had something to look forward to. With astrology, I gave her the time frames when these things are going to happen. And it also showed in her palms that she would be making a big shift. She would be starting her own business with the new partner, and she would be successful. So now she has this ray of hope, knows that her grandmother is watching her and blessing her from the heavens, and she has a path to take.
That's great. How do we get a hold of you if we want to book a reading?
My website, tonyuberoi.com, or call or text me on 416-829-5750.
And these days, it's not always easy to come see you in person. You also do phone readings or
Phone sessions, sessions on the video, and or in person also.
That's great, Tony. I'll check out the website.
Thank you.